Morning ziri ssatu ezakavako ku ssaawa 5 ez'amakya ag'olunaku olwaleero. Now, outside Uganda, the situation is very funny.
Yeah.
That's how I want to put it. For me, I find it very funny. That it's still in the 21st century. Eggwanga lisobola owamba eggwanga eddala.
Yeah.
There's a situation in Russia and Ukraine. We'll be letting you know more of the details. And of course, still coming up in the news, state parents witnesses in hearing of Honorable Ssegirinya ku musango gw'ogenda mu maaso. And besides that, also we have hundreds of Ugandans abagala the primary leaving examinations. Ebibuuzo bye twatuula nga tuva mu P7 ogenda mu senior 1 babijjewo.
Yeah.
Stick around. That more is that and much more is coming up in the news, which starts right now.
Coming to you live from Plot 249 Gaba Road. Hot on the heels. Fast, reliable and informative. Agagwira wo gasokira wano nga tebanagafuna. Agagwira wo ku 100.2 Galaxy FM.
Good morning. We're here with Pam, and we're live on our YouTube, Galaxy FM/TV. Pam,
Yeah.
the state has presented.
Hey.
Earlier on, when I was presenting this story, I said parents. No, it's presents.
Presented like witnesses.
Witnesses, yeah.
Ssegirinya is appearing in court from Chigo, where he is live. His case of inciting violence on social media. Remember the time when he uttered statements on his Facebook page threatening that those people who are going against His Excellency, I mean his his president, his party president, the NUP party president.
They call him principal.
A principal,
Bo-
Robert Kyagulanyi.
yeah.
Yes, that they will suffer 40 times more than what happened in the Rwandan genocide. So he uttered those statements on his Facebook.
That was below the belt, yeah?
Yeah. And that's the case that is happening now. Witnesses are being presented. The state has 2 witnesses. They are presenting in court and they are questioning them. How do you know that he's uttered these statements?
Yeah.
Were you there? And, so that is what is happening right about now.
As we speak.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
We'll keep you guys posted. I'm very sure Rashida Nakai will come up with
Yes,
some bites,
Rashida Nakai, she was supposed to come up and give us details of what is happening there, but apparently court is full to capacity, and you know how court issues are sensitive, so you cannot just keep moving out.
You cannot just interrupt them.
Yeah, so the details of that story will be coming up in the subsequent bulletins.
Stick around, Tovao. Hundreds of Ugandans want PLE examinations to be scrapped.
Yeah.
That's the first one. I've not had something like
got
that.
a PLE. It's not the first time that such a proposal is coming up. It is a proposal.
It is coming from who?
It's coming from Ugandans.
Which Ugandans?
It is coming from Ugandans because they asked for people to be stakeholders in the education system and people who are involved in the education system to come up and give their proposals on the education system in Uganda. Yeah, this was supposed to be presented before the Education Policy Review Commission.
Yeah.
Now, hundreds of comments came saying we want the UPE scrapped because we do not agree with the system.
UPE or PLE?
PLE, primary living examinations.
Yeah.
They say they do not think that people should be sitting for PLE, and they feel like the whole primary studying. They propose that at least the vocational studies should be implemented at primary level instead of kids just studying whatever they're studying, then reach P7 and do examinations and are promoted to S1. According to some of these proposals, they feel like it is not tangible.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Dennis Mujimba, the Ministry of Education spokesperson, was explaining those proposals.
Very interesting recommendations about even questioning the value add of PLE. That why should we remain with PLE? They are saying we should make continuous assessment more broadly used in the system than we currently are doing. So those are some things. So that is an area. Now it will come, we'll interrogate it much further and then make a more informed decision.
In my opinion, I think the primary system is much better than the secondary system because abamwe oluzungu lwe mwogera mwaluja mu primary school, the secondary schools didn't add on much. The secondary school maybe shifted the lifestyle.
I think
the the kind of boldness into your hustle and experiencing life as it is, but the basics of maybe English, the basics of your expression, your confidence, abasinga babijja mu primary level. And it's like what they're suggesting is like building a house without a foundation. Kindergarten does not really contribute that much.
It does a lot.
Kindergarten but not really that much compared to primary, because in kindergarten omwana abeerayo nga yakava waka, and normally it's 1-2 years, isn't it? Primary is 7 years. This is when you get to know what it feels like okubeera mu boarding, okutandika okweyoleza engoye.
Abaana abangi tebagenda mu boarding.
You will be amazed at how many students are in boarding schools.
No, very few.
In primary. Pamela, best believe
But
me.
here's the point, Henry. I think that taking primary from 1 to 7, those are too many years.
Nope.
Those are too many years for kids to be studying. I think the years should be cut.
There are countries that do 8.
Me, the way I think is that the countries that are doing 8
they don't have senior 6, but they do 8.
Yes, they don't have, but they do 8, and there's something better out of it that compared to our system and the way we are studying.
I don't know what you guys.
P1.
What is the hours?
P2.
Yeah.
P3. P4.
Yeah.
By the time you reach P7, so much. Like, okay, fine. They should instill skills of confidence. They should instill, like, it should be more practical. That's what parents are saying, including vocational skills, so that omwana took up primary 7, they can decide whether they want to continue to S1 or probably branch to do vocational studies, which is easier.
That's always been there. That's always been optional.
No, they do not have that experience or vocational.
Abaana abasinga abamu, much as most of them do it from senior 4. Naye abamu oluva mu P7 nga bazadde abamu abatasobola secondary school. We have people that we studied with that didn't make it to secondary school.
That is the thing that people should scrap off. The mindset that education, that when you go for vocal education, is because you have failed to handle. You understand? It's not. It should be scrapped off. That thing should be removed from people's mentality. Because ogenda ku vocational, you have failed.
You also
to proceed
subscribe
with
to that.
academics.
You also subscribe to that school of thought.
That is what we're saying right now. That wali abazadde that the kids reach PLE P7 and they just end up branching them off to something else.
What do you think before?
Kids should all feel what vocational is. Let it be incorporated in primary school, and then much as they are studying other
omwana waviira mu P7 aba ayina emyaka emeka, a basic, like a standard age.
12, 13.
Exactly.
12, yeah.
Are you of conscious mind to decide that you want to go for vocational education at 12 years, 13 years?
Yes.
Oyo mwana aba akyali muto Pamela. 12, 13 years oba tomanyi nakyo yagala.
That is the problem with Africans.
You remember the things they used to ask us?
That's the problem.
Did they ever ask you this question in P7? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
Do you remember the answers we used to give?
Doctor, engineer.
They were insane.
Lawyer. But let me tell you one thing. That is the problem with Ugandans, or not Ugandans, but with us. We over babysit our brains. You realize countries, fast-growing countries, their kids, they are able to realize the potential this kid has while they're still young, usually within those grades they have, between our first grade to 8th grade. They will know what this kid is capable of. If this kid is good at sciences, if this kid is good at arts, if this kid is good in, in creative arts or anything. But us, we feel like, omwana by 12, they're still young. They do not know what they want. But a 12-year-old should be knowing what they want. Should be knowing what they want in the world that we are living in today. Because by 16, kids are innovating. Kids are doing bigger things than just,
16.
Yeah,
16
years.
You're finishing senior 4 PAM.
Yes.
You're not P7.
No, 12. Henry, let me tell you something. First of all, we are giving a standard rate for P7. But you'll find that most kids leaving P7, some of them are 17. Others are 18. Do you know that? Kids are finishing P7 at 17. Some 18.
We also have adults that are doing, secondary education. It doesn't matter if you started late. We're looking at the standard, yeah? We cannot plan for our families, for the society, based on abnormalities. Oli atandika kusoma late, maybe neyesanga ngemyaka 18 ali mu P7. But what are the chances of that happening? We are looking at omwana akuze agenze mu ssomero at the right age. We are calculating by 12, 13 we bagenda oberera mu P7. 12, 13 agakatonda mugulu Pamela. Do you know what you want?
Yes, you
Guys,
can know what
chip
you
in your
want.
thought. Yeah, you can drop it on
can.
our YouTube, Galaxy FM/TV. Is, in your opinion, Mundoza yo, primary education, okuva mu P1 mpaka P7, a wastage of time in the Ugandan education system? Let us know. And of course, we'll be doing a follow-up on that story much later. Let's talk about Russia. What's happening in Russia?
Russia, there is war. In fact, some people are calling it a World War III. Apparently, UN is meeting, United Nations is meeting with some of the countries to see how they can help into the matter. But yesterday, the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, he announced on TV that he's going to invade Ukraine. He wants to possess Ukraine, take over Ukraine. So he says he's going to invade Ukraine on television.
He wants
and then today, by early this morning, there are explosions that have been heard in several places.
It's very sad that we have some things that are still happening in the 21st century. When we have the so-called, umbrellas like the UN, NATO, those regional blocs that we think are governing us. We've been seeing things happening here in Africa. Out of the blue, Amajene Gawamba, we've seen things happening in Guinea, and you wonder what are things like AU doing? What are bodies, agencies, umbrellas like UN doing? But we are Ambachi.
No, they do help, but
How?
you know it's in a diplomatic way, because you cannot also, as the UN, an umbrella, just come and invade or enter into something and start acting.
When should they be signaled to come and enter?
What they do usually is have talks with people. When they feel like the situation is out of control, that is when another action can be taken. Maybe military action or
I feel
nations
like
coming together.
I feel like we've lost it somehow.
No, we
as
also have
human
stubborn.
beings,
We
yeah?
also have stubborn leaders. For instance, Putin. Putin is one of the most big-headed leaders that the world has. Yeah,
That should be an excuse to invade another country.
it is not an excuse to invade another country.
Ebyo
But
ebintu
he has,
byakoma mu 1870 mu
he has the military
mu
technique
lwenda mukaaga
and
eyo.
technology. That's why you see he has launched missiles. He's already doing it immediately. You know, we've seen America come in to try and intervene. Joe Biden, American president, and which is a superpower, which, you know, people always listen to, but Vladimir Putin is not listening to anyone. He claims
Wetwogerera
that is
embeera
part
y'obwetyo
of-
bweri in
Yeah.
the Ukraine, and it's really sad. I've been looking at pictures, I'm seeing some videos, I'm seeing actually on Twitter there's a live Twitter space of what's happening in Ukraine, and there's unrest. People are not, I mean, imagine you are from Ukraine, imagine you are not from Teso. Imagine you are from
But it's
Ukraine.
happening also in Africa. We've seen coups. That is a bit, you know, we are seeing leaders fighting nations one to two.
ebyensi eno kawaani, it only zeroes down to one thing:
Yeah.
every man for himself, and it starts from a family, like household. Yeah,
I
mulekerawo
thought
olowooza mbu
that's
gavumenti
incarnation.
etuyambe, gavumenti nazo zirekerawo kulowooza nti amawanga amalala gabayambe. It's
No, I think where we are, we need more collective effort than every man for himself. Because if you think about every man for himself, toja kusobola, we need united fronts.
it is impossible.
It is possible.
It is impossible.
It is.
This
When
is-
people come together, they are better than when one person stands alone and says,
The number one
"They
swag
can't do-"
station, 100.2 Galaxy FM. We can go over and over again, but this discussion is available for you on our YouTube channel, Galaxy FM/TV. You can check out more stories. But my friend, do not forget to nominate for your favorite male artist of the year. That's the nomination we've put up for you this morning on our socials. Galaxy FM UG ku Twitter, Instagram is the same, Galaxy FM UG. Gwe muyimbi kigwolooza mbasajja alidde mbanne akendo. Go and nominate right now. The Zzina Awards will be happening on the 25th of March. This is the mid-morning. Good morning.
This is the mid morning to Kone. Ku 100.